Good evening, Gamer Nation. I'm mattsimpleX. Come on in. Tonight's top story, more No Man's Sky. So picking up roughly where we left off, we are doing what we're usually doing, which is blasting off into space, inexplicably shooting at our marker there, and off we go. So on tonight's episode, you're going to see what you've been seeing from me, more of the same as far as lots of beauty. I'm not going to show much of the grinding I've been doing, but we will talk about it a little bit. But I do want to discuss some of the mechanics of the game. There's a few little things I want to talk about. And there's some combat. There is some upgrades and new things. New multi-tool coming down the pipe here. And yeah, so this planet that I'm about to go to is one of my favorites. I want to show you from my first few days of play anyway, one of my favorites. And I've learned you can't judge them from outer space because it looked blue. It looked all Earth-like. It looked very lush. And then you get down here, and this is actually a desert planet. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. I ended up renaming it Marston 1 after John Marston, the main character, of course, in Red Dead Redemption. Because of, well, look at all of this western-looking scenery. It's quite wastelandy. Cacti and such. I dig it. It's very cool. So, like I said, I renamed it Marston 1. My first view of the planet, just kind of looking around. See a sentinel go by there. At this point in the game, they're still fairly friendly to me. As you go along, they do get more hostile. So I got back in my ship, I decided to go cruise around a little bit, come over a hill, and the very first ocean that I had discovered at that point in the game. It's actually quite a lot of water on this planet, and we'll get to explore that a little bit here in a bit. Just wanted to show some footage of cruising over the ocean at nighttime here. It's just really spectacularly beautiful and peaceful. So as usual, gonna mix in lots of these long shots of just doing nothing but cruising. Kind of wish I was there right now. It seems very peaceful. So coming down here, I wanted to show you this. I was trying to crash my ship into the ocean with no success because it's just in the mechanics of the game that you absolutely cannot crash your ship. I've actually heard there, and you can't land on water either, as you can see there. I've actually heard people complaining that the ship handling is not challenging enough, that it's, you know, some people are saying they don't like the fact that you can't crash it. It's an interesting choice, I think, from the game maker's standpoint. They just kind of take that out of the equation. As I've said before, there's plenty of places in this game that you see another sentinel being fairly friendly. And the weather's coming in also, but there's lots of places in this game that are fairly difficult, is what I was about to say, and just driving your ship is not one of them. So here I'm trying to get out of the storm that's coming in. My thermal protection is just going down really quickly. So here I am coming out of the base. I'm gonna run over there and save my game at that waypoint. I highly recommend you do that a lot if you're a new player in this game. If you haven't heard, there's one criticism that I will say a lot of people are having. The game does crash a lot, or relatively a lot. It's probably averages about every other session for me. I get a crash, so yeah, so save your game a lot. There I am picking up some plutonium, which is what always seems to come in these little red boxes. And it is getting scary out here. Look at the dust blowing, and look at my protection just going down. I don't know what I'm doing out here. I'm trying to die. My thermal protection's about to go offline. There it goes. And I think that gives you just a very small amount of time. Life support's going to start heading downwards here shortly, unless I get indoors, which I do. So there it is. And it's time to recharge the launch thrusters, which is why I was here in the first place, I believe. As you can see there. Time to go. It's a nice long pan shot I was able to get of some guys flying overhead. That's pretty cool. Really like capturing footage of this game. I like taking screenshots. I have a playlist going right now entitled Snapshots of Infinity, which is all screenshots from this game. You can go check it out if you want. There's a shot of the ocean. I just sat there and looked at it for a while. Wind blowing across. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I decided to go explore the ocean, and this is something I was looking forward to, and I was not disappointed. As you're about to see here, exploring underwater is really fun in this game. I can't wait to level up my oxygen protection so that I can stay underwater longer, because your oxygen protection is essentially it's how long you can hold your breath, for lack of a better way of thinking about it. But once it runs out, you've got only a few seconds, or else you're going to die underwater. Moving through the water is nice. I like the textures. I like the way it looks and feels. Very pleasant. More cool underwater sea life. You can see I'm using my visor to scan things. It's one way of getting paid in this game. One of many ways. But I recommend scanning every possible thing you can. Just going to keep cruising underwater here. I think I was just enjoying the nice slow swim. And staying out of the weather up top, where I believe is blowing some pretty heavy sandstorm up there right now. So yeah, it doesn't look good. Look at my life support going down, man. So here I am saving again. Like I said, I'll repeat myself, save often. Good to have a restore point very recently on your profile. So back to the game loop, and this is basically what you do in this game. You explore, you get out, you run around, you survive, you get back in your ship, you mine things, you pick up inventory, go to the space station, sell it off, or you can also find bases around planets where sometimes there will be people you can buy and sell with. And yeah, I can see there's people out there saying they don't like this game, and I can see if you don't like this type of game that it's probably not for you, but this is the ultimate Grinders game ever made. This is a Grinders paradise. This game absolutely rewards you for all the right things as far as a grind-style RPG goes. They reward you for exploration, they reward you for prudent trading, they reward you for picking up new materials, and for communicating with, you know, other sentient beings throughout the universe. So here we go, off to the next planet. All right, rocking and rolling. As we're coming out of light speed, there usually seems to be other people arriving with us. I'm going to ignore those guys though, and we will head on to Sunago Epuncia, which sounds like to me it's either some really exotic form of the flu that probably makes you puke your lungs out, or like the half Japanese, half Latino bad guy in a B gangster movie. Sunago Epuncia is coming for you! Alright, that was really bad. I apologize to people in both the Japanese and the Latino communities for that one, so just gonna have to forgive me. But anyway, coming on in here, you see this place is Christmas planet, red and green. And I think I'm coming in here to do some mining. So before mining, it's time to touch down, go check out the local scenery, perhaps grab a cup of coffee in the base there. See plutonium everywhere, and so I'm going to go do a little spelunking. Into the caves we go. After checking out those mushrooms, And boy, it's a good thing I drank that coffee because boy, look at me go. Man, oh man. That is some potent caffeine. I am just kidding, of course. Some lovely effects for you. Anyway, back to the mining. And the real reason I want to show you this is because as I was about to discover when I got trapped in a cave, after I give you a nice screenshot of these stalagmadiddles or whatever they are, stalagmites, stalactites, I can never remember. I don't think those are them anyway because they're like iron deposits. Anyway, I got trapped in one of these caves and remembered that I had a photon cannon that can blow chunks out of the earth, which is a very cool addition to this game. It means you can just tunnel on down. There it is, the plasma launcher. Did I call it a photon cannon? Whatever, it's a plasma launcher. It launches plasma grenades, and here I blasted my way through into another chamber here. And I was all excited about it. And as you are about to see, you can find your way into a whole other underground cave system. So here we come out into a pretty extraordinarily beautiful cave, actually. Considering that is one criticism about this game that I have, is that the caves often are, though beautiful, they're often very, very similar. I haven't seen a lot of different like lighting and things. So anyway, yeah, that's that. And off we go again, always blasting off to the next location. Onward and upward. Warp speed, Mr. Sulu. That wasn't even a Star Trek impersonation. I don't know who that guy was. What the hell? But here we go again, blasting on off. Blasting on, blasting off. Wax on, wax off. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Mr. Miyagi is not here. Here we go, out into outer space. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I often do, which is to, come on, change to your mining beam. You want to shoot these rocks, not with that gun though, although it does work. Really, you want to use your mining beam. I'm not sure what I was doing here, using my cannon, but really you do want to mine these rocks in outer space. They will keep your spaceship going. There's the planet I named Bleak Seuss because it looked like a bleak version of a Dr. Seuss illustrated type book. I think I didn't show you much of that footage, even though it was pretty cool, just because there's just too many cool things to show you. So other than the look of the planet itself, it was kind of boring footage. So here we go. Warp speed on to the next star system. And this time I've cut out most of the warp because it does generally take about 45 seconds, but there's something kind of cool about knowing. I've heard people say that the game is hiding load screens when you warp, and that's just not the case. You just have to move between these giant star systems, and I mean, yeah, they could probably make it instantaneous, but that wouldn't be realistic. It would take you some time to warp there. I like the fact that it takes a little bit of time to warp. You gotta catch your breath before you get to the next star system. So here's this planet, East Hue Old 981, East Hue Old 981, which is not actually where we're going. This is a completely disconnected cut that's about to come up here and go to a completely different planet, but I just wanted to show you these cute guys. Look at them. They're like mutant kangaroos. They are oh so cute, and this planet is really cool. So even though that was a really abrupt and not a very good transition, here we go, on to the next thing. Which is, again, you know, the way this game works, you just kind of keep moving on. Kind of the point for me is just to discover these weird and wacky life forms. You know, get the upgrades you can, fight some sentinels, which you're about to see here. Because, oh, look at this. A door that wants to be shot at. You can see my new multi-tool there. And this is my first really good fight with some sentinels. So before we fight with the sentinels, let's go over here. We'll use this handy dandy little guy to call my ship. This is one nice little mechanic of the game that I like. You'll find these things scattered about, usually near a base. And if you have a bypass chip, which I just constructed there in my inventory, you can use it to call your ship. And here we go, and my ship will be dropping in here. So I'm all ready for my getaway, because I know these sentinels are going to come after me as soon as I blast this door. which I'm about to do, starting about now. So bring it on, Sentinels! And for some reason, I am noob-like using my mining beam. There we go. Boltcaster is much better for taking out a steel door. And here come the bad guys. Alright. Take them out with extreme prejudice. But recharge your shield first, apparently. What are you doing? Come on, you're getting wrecked! Oh, this is killing me. Come on! Alright, there we go. I'm literally on the edge of my seat, and I happen to know that I'm not going to die here. Down with you, Sentinel! Down with you, I say! Oh! And away they go. One down. Reload. Come on! What are you doing? Oh my god, what a noob! Oh, that's much better. And down you go. 2 down. I think that's it for now. As you progress, the Sentinels get much, much harder. There'll be more of them coming after me soon if I don't get through this door, but I'm about to get in there. One more reload. There we go. So when you get inside these places, you're going to come across a command console. Looks a lot like this. It'll give you some options. This one says the alarm has locked the terminal. Security scanners appear and slowly turn towards me. So I'm going to try to cut the alarm. In this case, it doesn't work. I'm not sure how to tell in these cases. Some of these things have patterns. You're going to see one coming up here actually in the way it works. But this one had no pattern. I just guessed and guessed wrong. So basically the alarm keeps going. I'm looking around trying to figure out what the hell I can do in here, and really it's nothing. Collected a little bit of isotope. Oh wait, I can analyze my multi-tool. Now it's telling me there's an incoming storm, so it's time to leave. Don't know why I'm standing here. Feeling foolish. Come on, let's go. Alright, that's better. Oh, and you can check your stock transfer, which I find funny. You can check your stock transfer and you always win credits. Always get credited to your account right there. I was like 1,400 and something, I think. So that's kind of cool. The game does provide you with many options to get paid, as I said, and that's just another one. You can just go check your stock transfer. So out we go. The storm's coming in. The mutant kangaroos are heading for the hills. And it's time to go. So I believe we're coming back in. Actually, I went to space for a little bit, came back down. I think this might be the same planet. I'm actually not sure. I lose track. I discover so many planets in this game, but it looks a lot the same. Cruising across the landscape. Let's sit down and check this place out. And I like this place. I like the grass effect actually in this game is something I'm kind of fond of, even though it's a bit cartoony, but I like it. The waving grasses in the wind, it's kind of nice. And this guy apparently decided that he wanted a piece of me. I did not attack him. I generally make it a practice not to go after the wildlife unless they come after me, and then I shoot them ruthlessly. Take them out! Down you go, dear boy. Did you catch my play on words there? Dear boy. Dear boy. Oh my god, I'm a geek. I've just realized this. It's a terrible feeling. So into the base we go. And here's the ones I was telling you about as another command console after we go analyze our multi-tech tool, our multi-tech tool. I cannot speak today. I don't know what the hell's going on. Picked up some grenade propulsion upgrade there. But this little command console is the one I was talking about, and here we go. And these ones have patterns. So if you look just above the words Doquiera Richu Reflector, I don't know what that means. Impossible. It's some sort of reflector, impossible to pronounce. But if you look at those three numbers that are printed there, 4634, 6344, 3446, there's always a pattern. There is always a pattern. And the pattern is always that it starts with a different number on every one. So you start with 4634, 6344, 3446. There's another 4 that has not started. And so I chose the top option. And if you go back and look and study it, you'll see why. Because the only other option that started with a 4 was a repeat of one of those other numbers that were already listed. And the pattern never repeats, and it's always starts with the one number that it hasn't started with. In that case, because there was 2 4s, it was the second 4 that it hadn't started with. But if you study up on these patterns a little bit, you'll see there's always a right answer. Don't guess. Figure out the pattern for yourself, and you'll always be right. I have yet to make a wrong choice on these because they're all pattern recognition puzzles, basically. So, which is kind of cool. You can work on building your pattern recognition. So we're just about to the end of our time here. I'm going to give you a couple of nice shots here of this beautiful planet. Remind you what the game is all about, which really is about exploring an infinite universe. And in upcoming episodes, you're going to see some really wacky creatures that I've discovered. More new tools, a new ship, actually 2 new ships, countless planets, and like I said, some really wacky creatures. So it's going to be fun, as well as some other things that I've talked about, discussing the future of the game, where are we going once we get to the center, and things like that. If you like what you see, please like the video on YouTube. Please subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. Once again, I'm going to save my game. Can't stress this enough. I know I've done it 3 times. I've showed this boring save footage, but it's just to remind you, not only can you get paid for discovering these waypoints and uploading them, but it does create a restore point for you so you don't accidentally screw up your game and lose your inventory, which is a bummer when you've been spending hours grinding. So coming to the end of the day, like to do the one thing that we all like to do at the end of the day, and that is to get paid. So you upload your discoveries, you receive your units. It's a satisfying feeling. I jumped right back out of my ship to go ahead and save my game one more time after having done all those uploads. And that is about all we got for today's episode. I really like to thank you for watching. And I'm going to leave you with one nice shot of the scenery here. Simplex out.
You must